Did you know that 6 million Jews were killed during the Holocaust? In 1935, a man by the name of Adolf Hitler was appointed German Chancellor. Little do people know, this was the start of one of the greatest tragedies in history. Adolf Hitler was born in Braunau am Inn, Austria, on April 20th, 1889. He was the fourth child out of 6 in the family. At a young age, Hitler and his father had many disagreements on different things, especially his interest to pursue art as a career. Hitler's father was very against his interest in art, so they became distant to each other. Hitler's father died suddenly in 1903. Hitler then dropped out of the school and moved to Vienna to work there as a laborer. He applied to the Academy of Fine Arts 2 different times and was rejected both times. He had had an interest in German nationalism ever since he was a child, even though he was Austrian. He entered the German army after being rejected from art school twice and living in countless homeless shelters. When Germany surrendered in World War I, Hitler couldn't believe it. He saw the Treaty of Versailles as unfair and untrue. He believed they had been betrayed. In September of 1919, Hitler entered DAP, which is another name for the Nazi Party. He was very dedicated to the Nazis and soon became the head chairman. Hitler was arrested for high treason in 1923 and was imprisoned for 9 months. While in prison, he wrote Mein Kampf, which was about him and his struggle and what he was going to do to change Germany and its society. Hitler ran for president and lost twice, but was appointed chancellor because of his strong political powers. He used his power to form a dictatorship, and after a while, Germany's only legal political party was the Nazi Party. After the president died, Hitler became leader and chancellor, so he had all the power. The plan they first had did not involve killing any of the Jews. He just wanted to get them out of Germany and to other countries. As this all went on and got worse and worse, then they decided to diminish Germany of all Jews. Why did Hitler have so much hate for the Jews? Some say it was because of his mental problems and his awful childhood, but Hitler claims in Mein Kampf that he never really had a problem with the Jews until Germany's loss, which he blamed the Jews for. In 1933, new laws were made to force Jews out of jobs, court positions, and many other public areas. The Nuremberg laws made Jews second-class citizens and defined them by the religious history of their grandparents. Over the years, life for them got harder and harder. They weren't allowed almost anywhere. It made it very difficult for any of them to even have a life. The Nazis also targeted gypsies, homosexuals, people with disabilities, etc., and they made these people abide by the same laws the Jews had to follow. In 1933, the first concentration camp was built. According to the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum website, the term concentration camp refers to a camp in which people are detained or confined, usually under harsh conditions and without regard to legal norms of arrest and imprisonment that are acceptable in the constitutional democracy. These camps forced all of these innocent people to practically work as slaves. They were never fully fed a good meal, and the sleeping conditions were unpleasant. Around 1941, death camps started. This is where they would murder them in ways such as putting them in gas chambers and shooting them. Auschwitz was the main death camp with a total of 1.1 million deaths. In 1942 alone, 2.7 million deaths occurred. This was the most intense period of killing in the Holocaust. In total, over 6 million people were killed. The Holocaust will forever be one of the greatest tragedies in history. It has changed a great amount of things with the legal and moral protection of people. It's saddening that precautions should have to be taken. A genocide this large should never be allowed to happen again anywhere in our world. Thank you.